The Queen is Dead. By Meep the Changeling. Chapter 23. Landfall and Airmail. David, 22th of Plantation 15 EOH, Sunrise. I was not having a good morning. Apparently, a ship of some kind from Napone was spotted, so rather than risk combat by entering Keys's harbor, the Night Jewel would be sailing back out to sea. Which meant we would be going ashore in a small, squarish landing boat. As this was a pirate vessel, the boat was designed for landing troops, and in fact a true landing craft. On its own that would have been fine. I can put up with a small boat. Especially one with a nifty little Magitech motor. Add to a cramped landing craft the wee hours of the morning. The sun just barely glowing on the horizon like a huge bonfire hidden behind a hill. Still not bad, dawn has to come sometime. But when you mix in clouds like a woolen blanket covering every inch of sky, rough choppy water that seems to want to nut-check the goddamn boat, a thick batch of fog on loan from Silent Hill, and a jerk drinking the last of the coffee before I could get a cup, you get a near-perfect replica of my worst morning ever. It was even 6:30 in the morning. Azza, or Lily, whichever, deciding to have an entire conversation with his buddy in German was not helping at all. Das die Energieübertragungsrate muss genau viertig Mikrojoule pro Second Sen. Lily asked, taking notes in a small booklet. Working in some last-minute tips or some shit. J.A., what's his face answered, Und sicher sen, die Matrix korrekt polarisieren zu halten, oder es Word explosionsartig zusammenbrechen. My ears flattened as a loud thud echoed across the harbor. Oh God! Why? And also what? You okay there, David? Glowing asked. I had no idea why she was here, but thank God for it. Just, old memories. What the hell was that boom? I asked, flinching as I expected more. Well, Captain said there was a Japanese ship nearby, so that was probably it landing. They weigh a ton after all, she replied simply. Een second, Lily said, turning to face me for a moment. Sier pretty loud landing. I remember hearing it the first time too. Hold on, land? I asked, raising an eyebrow. Yep. I think they said it was a Arubian class, so that's, Glowing frowned and bit her lip for a moment, around 20,000 tons of airship that just dropped a few inches. Oh. I nodded slightly. That would definitely explain the Sioux weight, airship. Yet, big 3 ballooned ones. Got the steel platform bodies. Beat the hell out of equestrian ships, but that's Napone for you. If it's shiny and worse, they build it religiously. Glowing giggled. Airship, as in, a large lighter-than-air flying machine? I asked, mind kinda reeling from that blow. Yet. What other kind is there? Glowing asked, giving me a weird look. A look that suggested she hadn't just told me that there were goddamn commercial flying craft in this world. Lily snickered and broke off her conversation again. He's been in Stalingrad this whole time. Glowing paused, looked up at me, grinned and shuffled her 4 hooves, and he's sailing to Keys. J.A. Lily snickered. Getting mad at being the butt of a joke, I gave Glowing an irritated glare. Oh yeah? Well, why are you here anyways? I only signed on for one mission. I'm going home. She answered casually. Needed a few extra bits. My wife's sick. Not like, dying sick, but well. Expenses and things. Was? I thought Equestria had free healthcare. Lily asked in surprise, his mentor nodding in agreement. That is what I heard as well. He objected. It's only partially true. Glowing said with a shrug. Get a bad cut on your leg? No problem, cured and sent home. Break a leg, same deal. Lose a leg, and the guns will make you a shiny new one. But if you get something weird and keep needing care, like say, cancer, you need to pay what the kingdom can't. It's free to a point. She's got some kind of genetic thing, so I figured a 500,000 bit payday would set us up for 2 years and was worth the 4 months at sea. Ah, that makes sense. What's his face said, turning back to face Lily before adding, my condolences. Wie auch immer, Zurich zu dem, was ich sagen wollte. Richtig, etwas über den Sekundar Zaubermatrix. Lily asked, indicating their conversation had resumed. I'm sorry your wife is ill. Do you know what it is? I asked in genuine concern. No offense, but if the best healers available don't know what it is, I doubt a stallion gradient surgeon will be of help. Glowing said in an apologetic tone. I felt my tail droop sadly. Oh, he's way better than them. Jade said, hopping off the top of the car to stand beside me. At the moment she was in her favored red Pegasus shape. The one she had used back at Capson. Yet. Way to go, bug girl. Stand up for your friend/meat shield. You saw me out of Pegasi form before, right? Jade asked, you know that lighter patch of chitin on my barrel? 2 crossbow bolts. He fixed me up with like a literal piece of moldy bread and a metal plate. Glowing's head tilted to one side. You're from Stalingrad and you know about penicillin. Yes, I know about penicillin. I said suspiciously, how do you know about penicillin? Glowing fluffed her wings slightly, almost like when a bird flicks its wings. That was a weird sort of movement as far as I knew. I'd never seen a Pegasi do that, and sure Glowing was a bat pony, but the differences seemed cosmetic at best. All right. So you're better than the bloodletting leech users I know for a fact exist. But still, she's got something there have only been 12 confirmed cases of, and the spells and medicines are more expensive than our combined medical care allotments. So while I appreciate the offer, I think it's out of your hooves ER hands. Glowing apologized. Apology accepted. I grunted. Jade nodded, a small smile forming on her lips before she looked at everyone with a confused expression. Are none of you feeling all dizzy and stuff? No. I have my sea legs. I answered, with similar responses from everyone else. The water wasn't that bad. Hey. Okay. Just me then. Jade shrugged and flapped back up to her favorite perch. My turn for a question, Glowing declared as Jade landed. What memories are so bad that you're acting like you're sailing right into a horde of angry griffins? I flinched, visibly tensing my muscles at her rather apt metaphor. He's a veteran. Jade said quietly. I don't know everything, but he did do a thing where his people attacked a beach. Yet. The boat, weather, language. It's all pretty similar. I grunted, it would be nice if you didn't remind me of it. Oh. Sorry, her ears drooped, the tufts on the end making a little whooshing noise from the sheer speed. I wanted to laugh at that, but I was just too stressed out. As well as weirded out by the fact that apparently there were airships. Though I suppose given Magitech pumps and boat props, a Zeppelin or 2 wasn't out of the question. Hey, you know what will take your mind off of things? Lightstride said, speaking up from out of view behind the cart. Look right below the rising sun. Keys is right under it, and once Celestia gets it a few more degrees up there, the fog will thin out. Always happens with the fog here. You won't want to miss it. This seemed like a good idea. Not only would seeing a not burning city relieve the jaw view, but given what everyone was saying, I was getting the distinct impression that I had horribly misjudged the world I found myself in today. In which case, I was probably screwed for getting to have some nice place to spend my days in. In a medieval world, my knowledge of medicine, construction techniques, and all the general handyman things would make me invaluable. I knew calculus and modern construction methods, as well as how to make quality cement. Plop me down into 1500s Europe and I'd have a job as a master architect in months tops. Everything I had seen, done, heard, and lived thus far had shown me a world that was just about ready for the Iron Age to start cranking out inexpensive steel. The Magitech on the Night Jewel had been neat, but all simple machines working complexly to do specific things. A natural evolution of technology in a world with magic. But put me in a time closer to my own. I would be nothing. Just another standard unit of the machine, only one without any connections to get him into a working position. That's the paradox of a modern education. We all know so much more than even a king could have afforded to learn, but it takes connections, luck, and hard work to get more than subsistence from life. I didn't want that again. I'd had enough of that in my old life. Hopefully the sunrise would show me something I could work with. I turned my head forward and stared at the orange glowing dot behind the wall of fog as it slowly rose through the air. Ever so slowly I could start to make out shapes in the fog as the sun's warmth evaporated the grey blanket. First a general blur, then one or two silhouettes of larger structures. Okay, Light said slowly, you can see the pyramid, kinda, so 3, 2, 1. The sun suddenly flared brightly, going from orange to warm yellow almost instantly as it rose above the fog bank. Immediately the entire city shone like a spot lamp had been flipped on. I could see everything. A dozen huge whitish-tan pyramids decorated in sheets of glass in a fashion resembling a modern skyscraper consumed the horizon. The space between them was filled with smaller square towers, each of which was festooned with decorative architecture like spires, arches, and what looked like statues. If that wasn't impressive enough, the entire goddamn city was wreathed in green, and not in terms of painted buildings. There were plants everywhere. Hedges decorated the top stone half-walls, trees grew on balconies, flowers were every fucking where. In every spot possible, plant life joined architecture to make one complete unit. Keys was a modern architectural take on the goddamn hanging gardens of Babylon. It was beautiful. Not in the sense of the city held the quality of possessing beauty. Keys defined what beauty was. It was beauty. I felt a hoof push my jaw up. You were drooling. Glowing said with a grin. It's... But... There's... How? Who? I demanded incoherently, not breaking eye contact with the closest thing to a modern utopia as built by Tolkien elves. Zebras like their stuff to look nice. Light answered. Hey, you saw the night jewel. Not every zebra can afford gold and silver, but a few flowers and some glass are cheap and can look great. No. This is... New York City is as fucking hard to build as Tinker Toys and Lincoln Logs compared to this. How do you even build something like? I stopped mid-sentence, wide-eyed awe shifting to underwhelmed irritation at my own obliviousness without a clutch. They used magic, didn't they? Yep. Everyone said at once. Even the until now silent crewman who was just sailing the boat. God damn it. Stupid magic. Taking the wonder out of everything. Unless... How and what magic? I asked hopefully. Alchemy probably. Lily stated. Yes. Wonder resto. Oh god fucking damn it. The world was equivalent to the modern day. Shit. Oh hey. Jade exclaimed excitedly, can you guys smell lemons? We should get some of those. I've always wanted to try one. I sniffed the air, no lemons to be whiffed. Neen, but maybe you have a better nose than me. Lily commented. We can get you a lemon. Assuming the coins we have work as money here, I grumbled. Or that anyone's even interested in my scrap. Oh no worries. I got that all worked out. Light commented as the boat approached a small dock. The captain gave me some traveling funds for everyone, but it's not too much. We can probably sell off your scrap at a local antiques dealer or to a cultural museum for a good chunk of change, and that bag of gold is just as valuable here as it is there. All said, if we spend a day in Keys, we can probably get train tickets too. You have trains? I asked, ears falling. Yet. There's no Equestria Zebraca route though. The rail would have to go through the Badlands, too much sand, too many tatzelworms. Glowing commented. We could maybe get a ship to take us. Lily mused. Light shook her head. Nah, not enough bits for that. Too many people. Same goes for air passage. But we should be able to afford a train, assuming you can ditch most of that junk, David. I sighed. Yeah. I can. It's useless now, isn't it? Jade frowned and shifted atop the cart to face me. Hey. What's wrong? Nothing important. Just how the world works. Can't do more but keep truckin'. I grunted. Right. Let's get you to Equestria. I can worry about me after that. I had to stay focused. I had a mission, save the bug girl from the evil griffins, who presumably could have been fielding modern weapons but didn't. The hell was that about? In fact, I need to know, I asked, giving everyone a long look. How the flying fuck does a nation stay as far behind the rest of the world as Stalingrad apparently has? It's poor hell and ruled by idiots. Lily said bitterly. Yep. Glowing agreed, it has literally nothing to export besides trees, and everyone has plenty of trees. It can't feed its own people because it's either super thick forest or swamp, so making farmland is almost impossible. And, Light finished, the last 3 kings have refused other nations aid on a matter of family pride and honor. So, nothing to trade to get money to buy things others make, and no way to improve themselves because everyone has to work farms to get enough food made, and it's run by plot holes. Wait, by what? I asked, raising an eyebrow. Plot holes. Light said, raising an eyebrow herself. You know, anuses, rectums, things shit come from. Oh. Sorry. The terminology is close to something in my own language. Ah. Gotcha. She chuckled. The boat bumped up against the wood rim of what looked to be a white marble dock expressly for smaller boats. Immediately 6 zebras dressed in glossy black breastplates with green cloaks embroidered with white tribal patterns lined up on the dock above the boat. I couldn't help but notice each of them had a crossbow, and some kind of blade tucked under their cloaks. A small voice in the back of my mind demanded I draw my knife and shout and guard just to finally get to see how the fuck a pony used a sword. While it had been bothering me for years, I managed to make the voice go away. Hail, travelers! What business have you upon our shores? A shorter female with more cloak embroidery than the others called in an odd bardic sort of rhythm. Hail the watch! These 5 seek travel through your fair lands, bound for Equestria. The crewman who had sailed us here called, in what I realized was a ritualized sort of customs check. Holy shit! Ritualized customs. Maybe the culture was different enough for me to succeed here. From where are you bound, and what cargo do you carry? The watchmare asked, in the same tone and cadence. These folk come by way of Stalingrad, and bear a cargo of medicine and salvage. The crewman answered. Let us see into the hold, that we may know if truth was told, the watchmare finished. It was pretty cool of the zebras to unload my cart for me. Even better was they didn't completely disregard how I had packed things. One of them kept a list of what was found in the cart and where. It was a nice, highly professional. Oh shit! I also had. Who is the owner of this cart? The head watchmare asked, a grim expression on her face. Explosive ordnance in the cart. I sighed and stood up as straight as I could, doing my best to remember how to do a military bearing. It is mine, ma'am, as are all but 6 of the bags. I couldn't help but get a small sense of satisfaction at the surprised look which passed over the zebra's face as I spoke coherently. Do you care to explain the presence of explosives in your wagon, sir? She asked slowly, the other zebras slowly circling to enclose the area. My apologies, ma'am, I am this young changeling's bodyguard, I said, pointing to Jade, assuming it would be best to inform them of Jade's heritage, in case they had a detection method of some kind. As a credible threat was placed on her, and we were in a largely lawless land at the time, I felt it prudent to construct simple anti-personnel devices out of the available materials for the purposes of securing our campsites. I intend no harm to anyone here, you may dispose of them however you like, or if you prefer I can dismantle their detonators for you. I find it a little, unlikely that you personally created these. The watchmare said bitterly, taking one of the small box mines from the cart and holding it in a hoof. Take this one apart. If you can, I'll assume you're telling the truth. If you can't, you can either be arrested or return to the ship which brought you here. I rolled my eyes, took the bomb, pulled the wooden cover off, and took out each piece while naming it: black powder charge in a clay pressure vessel, simple cannon fuse, thermite packets, homemade strike anywhere match, tripwire. Wait, thermite? One of the other guards asked. I thought you said these were anti-personnel. They are. I answered. I designed these after being attacked by a goddamn rock-covered crocodile 4 times as long as I am tall. Iron shrapnel wasn't going to cut it. Seems legit. The head watchmare said with a satisfied nod. We will confiscate these and any other dangerous materials. Ma'am, I've found a firearm. A zebra called. Sporting or military? The watchmare asked, both to me and her subordinate. 4-shot, break action, we replied in unison. Sporting then. Is it enchanted? She continued. I nodded, yes. Which is why I rarely use it. I presume you use that short sword on your belt primarily? She asked. I nodded again, yes ma'am. But it's not a sword, it's a knife. She looked like she was about to object, then paused, looked me up and down and cleared her throat. Fair enough, given your size I suppose it could be considered a knife. You are entitled to keep your personal weapons, but please do not draw them for any reason. It is illegal to handle a weapon in public without due cause, such as if responding to a robbery, mugging, or assault. And if you kill any pony even in self-defense, you will be required to pay their worth. Worth? I asked, giving her a confused look. Their worth. 1 month of their daily wages. A sum given to their next of kin to ensure the loss of income doesn't cripple the family. I'm not surprised you haven't heard of the concept, the watchmare spat. Ma'am, if I may, the zebra searching my card asked. What is it? She asked. Speaking as a scholar of the southern kingdoms, this person is not the breed of diamond dog native to these parts, ma'am. He hails from a cultured region, and is undeserving of your disdain, which admittedly is justifiable for the typically seen members of his species. Objection noted. Continue the search, she said with an eye roll. The remainder of the search went pretty well. There was 1 or 2 hiccups with my medical supplies, but after explaining what they were used for and how it was pretty well established that I was in fact a doctor by trade and fortunately therefore allowed to keep my kit. That would have been a bitch to replace. As soon as the watch had repacked my wagon, minus my cache of explosives, we were free to go. Lily said goodbye to his mentor, everyone made sure they had their stuff. The usual end of a journey affair. The docks sloped upwards over a series of plant-strewn terraces to the city proper, making it a conveniently short walk up to a thriving boardwalk market-like city center. There were thousands of zebras, hundreds of ponies, all going about their daily business, moving from shop to shop and stall to stall through a huge open-air mall. There were food vendors and music and clearly manufactured goods. It was like some weird fusion of a medieval market and a city mall. It was nice. I was already looking around to see if there might be anything interesting when at the same time Light said, "Okay, we should get a hotel room first," and Jade moaned, "Ugh, it still feels like I'm on choppy water." Lily trotted ahead of me a few paces, looking around slowly. "Das fühlt sich seltsam. It's been years. Tell me about it." I answered. It did feel weird. I turned to look at Light and agree with her that we should get a room and found myself literally face to face with a topaz-eyed changeling. Ah! I dropped the cart's handles and jumped back, reflexively reaching for my knife. "OOP. Sorry. Drifted too far forwards." The changeling apologized. Are those weapons hoof forged? Are you selling them?" "Yes." I answered, the fur on the back of my neck still standing up. I wouldn't mind selling them. Great, she reached into a saddlebag with her magic and passed me a small business card. Stop by my antique shop after 3 p.m. I'll buy anything that looks resaleable. Sorry again. As the random changeling buzzed her way off, Jade and I just sort of stared off after her. What? We asked in confused unison. Lily giggled and flashed Jade a grin. I told you that zebras had no problems with buggies. I didn't think that would mean we could walk around unshifted. Jade protested. You totally could if you wanted. Light quipped. Zebrica declared all the changelings living within their borders citizens 300 years ago. The topaz hive doesn't even hide anymore. We should seriously get a room though. Or a few. She turned to look at Glowing, who had thus far been trotting after us. Are you tagging along too? Yeah, at least as far as the hotel, the Bat Pony answered. I figured I would book an airship tomorrow. Pick up a few zebrican quilts while I'm here, things like that. I frowned and turned to look at her. You could come with us. You live in Equestria, we could use a guide. Sorry, but I have my wife to look after. I can't spend another week away without a good reason, and well, you guys are basically going to take a train, hike for 2 days and take a train. You won't need a guide, and I have family and friends back in Ponyville expecting me tomorrow. Glowing commented. Wait. Ponyville? Light asked in confusion. Yeah? Why? Glowing commented. I don't remember any bat ponies living in Ponyville. Light said, eyes narrowing suspiciously. Glowing rolled her eyes, pattern steel. Aha! She doesn't actually live in Ponyville, she's in the Everfree. Light exclaimed excitingly. Light, seriously? She's right on the edge of the forest, a 20-minute walk from Sugar Cube Corner. That's in Ponyville as far as any pony cares, even if it is outside the walls Twilight had built. Glowing sighed. Look, as far as I remember you took off around 08, right? The place has changed a bit in 9 years. What are you even trying to do? The saboteur was found. Yeah. I objected, giving Light a weird look. Lay off, she's on our side here. I'm sorry, it's just a bit suspicious that she's getting off at the same time and place as us. Light protested, huffing indignantly. The hey it is. We were sailing here to pick up some cargo next anyways. I was supposed to get off here. Glowing groaned, slapping a hoof to her forehead. Well, it's still weird. These guys are supposed to have the whole, you know. Light hissed. Jade, Lily, and I shared a look. A look of irritation, fatigue that can only be shared by friends witnessing well-meaning stupid that has reached hazardous levels. A look which said, you get popcorn, you set up some chairs, and I'll sell the tickets to this fight. Glowing opened her mouth in an irritated, lay a verbal smackdown, sort of expression. A shadow fell directly over her. Something whistled like a 12,000-pound bomb in free fall, and a grey and yellow Pegasus slammed into her from directly above with a sound like 2 pumpkins hitting each other, sending the 2 of them sliding into a tangled heap a short ways away. I was microseconds away from going full medic mode and whipping out a trauma kit, but the grey Pegasus just got up like not a goddamn thing happened, adjusted a postman's cap which somehow was still on her head, and offered a hoof to help Glowing up. Sorry MHIPAR, I guess Dasha needs to show me how to do suborbitals again. Are you okay? What? Gee, thanks Derpy. Glowing grumbled, standing up and shaking off the hit. I definitely never wanted to use this alias again. The grey mare blinked, looked around with a pair of slightly crossed gold eyes and blushed. Oh. Sorry. It's hard to hear coming down that fast. Called it. Light exclaimed, jumping forwards and demanding, who do you work for? Princess Luna. Glowing answered. Before you ask, she wanted inside knowledge of Pseudocamen's operations, and based on reports she won't be hunting his plot down. So relax. I was still trying to process the fact that this mare had said suborbital. Excuse me, ma'am? Did you just say you flew a suborbital path? She nodded and gave me this completely adorable grin. I was used to ponies looking cute, but this was weapons-grade cuteness. Yet, it's so cool. I used to be a bad flyer, but well, I live with a great one now, and she got mad that I couldn't keep up, so. Well, I guess I need more practice with landings. I just don't know what went wrong. Why are you even here? How are you here? Glowing asked angrily. Do I need to explain the post services uses magic tracking envelopes every time I deliver to some pony in an unusual place? This derpy asked, but not in an irritated sense, in a genuinely honest questioning tone. She took a letter from her saddlebags and passed it over with a hoof. You have new orders. The princess asked me to get them to you as soon as possible. Why, you were going to give some pony on an espionage mission a new set of orders, via a suborbital drop, which I am going to have to really question for teaching you how to do, to an agent, who for all you knew was on the middle of a pirate ship? Glowing asked, one eye twitching. Derpy kicked a hoof against the ground. Sorry, she said it was very important. Herg. How can one mare be so cute doing absolutely anything? I exclaimed unintentionally. Oh, that's my talent. Sorry. Derpy admitted with a blush. Oh, so that's what it is. Wait, what do bubbles have to do with no hold on? You're a spy. Light said, pointing a hoof accusingly at Glowing, who I had to admit did seem to really be a spy. Hey. She rolled her eyes. Yeah, and? I do a lot of different things for Luna. Princess Luna. Derpy said, as if to clarify the social rank of this Luna. I'm her friend. I get to use her name without the title. Besides, she prefers General. Glowing protested, opening the letter, then instantly sighing in irritation. Seriously? There? Right now? How am I supposed to get there in one day? Derpy shrugged. You can do dashy. Just fly over, she won't mind. She will mind. We had words about it last time. Portal chain it is. There had better be something to eat there already, Glowing sighed. Then she turned to me. Sorry we met under these conditions. You're a cool guy, so I'll do you a favor. When you get to Equestria, head to Ponyville. Princess Twilight is there anyways, it's her fiefdom. But more importantly, that whole, wanting to just have a house and do some work thing you want. Ponyville has a place for literally anyone, hooves down the friendliest small city anywhere. Oh, and if you get there before me, look for a freaking adorable blue and white mare named Colgate and tell her that Meep said you can stay over till you have your own place. She probably won't believe you, but what the hey, I tried right. I opened my mouth to reply, but the ground beneath her suddenly burst into pale green flames, into which she quickly sunk, vanishing instantly. Whoa! Jade exclaimed, eyes wide. I thought I would never see someone use a Lamun bridge spell. Wait! Sun's light, she was a changeling. Jade finished, her face twisting into a startled expression. Well, okay, bit slow on the uptake there. Guys, is it kinda cold? Jade asked with a baffled look. And Neen? Lily said, starting to look concerned. Are you okay? Jade shook her head. I don't think so. Everything is cold and itchy, and I'm still smelling lemons, and dizzy. It's a lot like when I shed my nympho. Jade's face took on a concerned look as she turned to me with a desperate look in her eyes. Remember how I said that Eneling can become a queen if they are away from their hive and get enough food? Can we go someplace we can stay for a while? Like, right now? Oh. Ooh. Oh. Shit. Yes. Let's do that. Light, hotel, now. I exclaimed, scooping Jade up and setting her back on her cart top perch. Just hold on. Lily, make sure she doesn't fall off. Light, you seem to know the place, hotel, lead on. Oh. Make sure she gets someplace cozy, warm, and dark. A bathroom with a portable heater in it and a blanket over the window should work well. The male mare offered before flying off with a quick happy wave. Light nodded and started to run off to the right. I grabbed the cart's handles, took a deep breath to steady myself, and rushed after. Today was shaping up to be a long, long day.